Stone to Steam performance?
Yes, it is.
Ah, excellent, correct. Well, it's so great to be over here. I heard that the man Gareth over here does wonderful performances. Well, I've come to join, huh? My name is Jean-Claude, and my name is Jean-Claude, and I've come all the way from France. Well, where is Gareth? Is he late? It's fine, we'll wait. Anyway. I hear that today we're going to England. Oh, England. I've always wanted to go on holiday to England, yes? One of my favorite holiday destinations. It's my first time going. Oh, so exciting. Anyway, I tell you what, my friends, whoever here wants to join me on holiday, huh? Any volunteers? Ah, excellent, excellent. How about you? Come and join me, yes? Come stand to my side. You as well? You, yes, come on, don't be shy. Who else wants to come on holiday to England, huh? You, yes, come on. Yes, you two over there at the back, come up. Anybody else want to come on holiday with to England? You at the back say you want to join us? Alright, it's fine, don't worry. Alright, so, my friends, shall we get ready to go on to holiday? Our children all the way to England, huh? I hear that we're going all the way back to 1665, I think. That's what I heard when I first saw the show. Anyway, come on, follow me, children, follow me. Well, children, where do you think Gareth is, huh? He needs to come and do the whole welcome to Stone to Steam, we're going back in time thing. I don't know. What is this? What is this over here? Thank you. What is this machine over here? Oh, maybe we use this to go back in time, huh? Alright, shall we try?
Yes.
Alright. Get back! It's making weird noises. My friends, it's making weird noises.
You're mad.
I think we're going back in time. I think we're in England, everyone. Come, follow me. Oh, it's just the locals. Oh. Anyway. Yeah. Wow, England is very nice. Get that away. It must be the locals. What is that? A ring, a rose, yes. A pocket full of roses. A pocket full of posies and tissue. This England is very strange. What is this all about? They all fall down. Oh, I know, you must be our tour guide. You even gave us a lovely little poem to begin their tour. Oh, thank you very much. So, tour guide, have you got any hotels around that we can stay at? Can you please take us to the hotel? Right, let's follow the tour guide. Right, come sit down, children. I just forgot, children. You must not forget to put on our sunscreen.
I don't want it. No.
Yeah, put on sunscreen. There we are. That is so. So, what do they call you? Tour guide? Are you a doctor? Huh? Oh, so you could we call you Dr. Bird? All right, sure. Dr. Bird. So, here in London, what do you eat and drink around here? Huh? Oh, you shouldn't have frogs and snails. How did you know? And French, I love it. Oh. Children, try some of this. That's a very interesting cuisine you eat in England. Very interesting. Wasn't it so nice, children? Oh, so wonderful. Oh. Anyway, so, Dr. Bird, I think you are forgetting something. As a tour guide, you're forgetting something. No? No? I think there's someone at the hotel door. The locals again. Oh, is that how you treat the locals? Interesting customs. Oh, anyway, Dr. Bird, you are forgetting something as a tour guide. What do you do for fun around here in London? All right, come, let's follow the doctor. Come on, let's go. So. Where are we going? Huh? Where are we going? Oh, is this it? Oh, alright. Come to the desert to the side here. To the side. To the side. Oh, there's even a dog, so cute. Alright, well. Dr. Bird. Oh, I see. You want your strange medicine. Right, just stand to the sides, my children. So you'll be wanting your leeches? Oh. You want your chicken? No? Do you want your arsenic? But arsenic is poisonous.
Me and my family got the plague yesterday.
Oh, you have a family, sir? I also have a family. So wonderful, you know. It's a beautiful family.
They died.
They died? Oh, sorry to hear. Oh, he's gone to sleep. Oh, so just stand beside you. He's gone to sleep. Oh, Dr. Bird, we really must be interrupting the gentleman while he sleeps. I think we should be going. Yes? Good night, sir. Sleep well. Alright, children, come this way, come get around. We must not disturb the man while he sleeps. Oh. So, Dr. Bird, what do you do for fun around here? What else, huh? Yes? What do you think he does for fun around here, huh? Just step inside, just inside. Oh, interesting. So you paint chains red? Oh, then what do you do? But you're busy locking the gentleman in his house. No! What? What? But you're busy, you locked him in. I don't understand. Oh. He wants me to do it as well? Oh, I don't think this is right. Children, I say run, we run, all right? Yes, we will do it as well. Quickly, children, run, follow me, this way. This way, come, run. Into the hotel, quickly. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't really like England. Such strange traditions. They lock in their people, they're falling asleep. I don't understand. There's no reason, no wonder why as French we don't like English, huh? I want to go back, huh? You guys want to leave this horrible place, huh? Yes. Oh no. But we need the Garrett to come and tell us that the show is over. How are we going to do it now? We're trapped in 1665. No! Oh no. Let's try. It's out of battery. Oh no! Well, children, I have a better idea. How about we just spend the night, we'll sleep, try and get these memories out like it was all just a bad dream, yes, all right? So let's go to sleep. In the morning we make a lovely plan to get out of here, all right? And we'll try, well, I don't think they have charges in this strange future. Anyway, all right, children, let's go to sleep now. I don't feel so well. Oh no! I think we're all ill from all the traveling, yes. Oh, now where's the doctor when you need it? Oh no! Who's there? Oh, who's coming? Doctor! Please, help us, please. Please, come help us, please. Quickly, go fetch the medicine. Thank you. Wait, not that weird pencil of yours. Children, can you go fetch my luggage case? Please bring it to me. My luggage case, yes. We don't want any of that strange stuff. Yes, you want this one? Thank you. Yes, will you please give us a Panado? Wonderful future medicine. Yes, thank you. Oh, yeah, let me help you like this. There, like this. Thank you. Now heal me. Thank you, doctor, please. Heal me, thank you. No, not like that. No, not like that. Not on my neck. No, doctor. You have to eat it like this. Eat it. No, that was my last Panado. You just ate my last Panado. No. Fine, give us your medicine, please. Come, children, you're going to get better, huh? Please. Thank you. Give them the better already? Huh?
Oh, I wish Gary was here to get us all to leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That's the end of our show. Don't worry, we can all leave this place now that I'm back.
Looks like a bit strawberry jam.
Oh yeah, Jean-Claude, what a poor man, he died. Oh, very sad. Oh, you know, tourism back in the 1660s, you know, needs a bit of work. Anyway, thank you guys. You may go have a seat. Thank you very much. Plague Doctor, come and join. I mean, Plague Doctor, come and join me.
They're putting that back on. Oh, she needs mask.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we went back to 1665 to London. Britain would never be the same after that. So we found that 75,000 people died during the Black Plague. And they found that after about, oh, just leave it quiet, shh, thank you very much. Thank you. So what ended up happening was the plague came. Nobody knew what was happening or what to do. If you think about it, back then, antibiotics and all these medicines we take for granted today did not exist. And so the best cure was literally, as the plague doctor over here demonstrated, leeches. Leeches was the go-to cure. If you think about it, this is a time before modern understanding of bacteria and microbes. So sadly, all the people in London in 1665 didn't know what caused this disease that they all befell. And so for a long, long time, for the whole of summer, the plague spread and spread from district to district. So the whole of London was engulfed by the Black Death. People thought that this was a punishment from God. Some thought that, well, it's the end of the world. But the plague doctors, they knew that this was a great chance to, well, get cash. And so what ended up happening was, plague doctors, could you pop your mask on back again? Thank you, plague doctor. Oh, where is your hat as well? Huh? Sick man, can you bring the hat, please? So over here, we have the typical attire of a plague doctor in 1665. It feels a bit strange not explaining it while it's on me. So I guess, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do a showcase of the outfit from another perspective. So this is what plague doctors wore back in 1665. So before we understand how the outfit works, we need to understand the way that they thought that the disease worked. So back in the 1600s, they believed in something called miasmatic theory. So miasmatic theory is this idea that disease is caused by bad air or miasmas. And this bad air would flood the area, and if you breathe it in, you get ill. And so they believed that they wore this beaked mask, and they filled it with herbs and spices, and they would beat out these bad miasmas. And they believed that this would save them. They would also wax up their coats. They would wear boots as well as gloves to be fully protected. And so, funny enough, it actually worked to a very small extent. Yes, wearing yourself fully clothed up and waxing yourself does act as a bit of a seal, but it wasn't that effective, and plague doctors died in the hundreds too. What plague doctors would do is they would go into houses of sick people, as we witnessed over there, our sick man dying in his home. What the plague doctors would do is they'd go and visit the homes, examine them with their stick, and after they've examined them to see how far or close they are to death, or if they can be saved, they would administer their cures. Some of the cures in the plague doctor's arsenal would be leeches. Another cure would be tying a chicken's bum around your neck. So, hence the chicken. And another cure would be arsenic as well. Plague doctors, yes, they administered arsenic. we know today this is very poisonous. So plague doctors are as much effective as it could have been. They were doctors of death, literally. So yes, as you can see, they also would wear hats. That's basically, like I said, even in last show, conforming to fashion standards at the time. Just big brimmed hats were fashionable. But plague doctors would also wear hats as another way of trying to keep the bad airs out, just to further their immunity. So yes, the attire of a plague doctor, 1665. Another thing is that what causes the Black Plague? Some of you might know, some of you might not know. So the Black Death, some of you might have heard that it comes from rats. Yes, it comes from rats. Not quite, almost. So Black Plague comes from fleas that are in the rats. Because what happened was they found that infected rats coming in from the trades in the Middle East would bring in the Black Death into Europe. And so these fleas would have the bacteria Yersinia pestis within them. That is, ladies and gentlemen, the Black Plague. Yersinia pestis is literally a bacteria that causes the symptoms, as we can see. And so what would happen is the fleas that travel on the rats would carry Yersinia pestis in them, and when they bite their victims, they move the disease into the plague victim. My disease victims, can you come over here, please? So as you can see over here, the typical symptoms would include big injuries all around the skin. These were called buboes. So it's literally an open lesion that would cause a lot of pain. And even the plague doctors would often believe that burning them would work. And I'll get to that now. So there would be these big lesions all over the skin. Another symptom is sneezing. You guys saw the poem at the beginning of the play that the plague doctor showed us. Ring a rosies, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, they all fall down. So the ring a rosies part comes from a ring, and the rosies, they symbolize as the bubo. Looks like a rose. So a ring or rosies, a pocket full of posies. Plague victims would carry posies in their pockets to stop from this terrible stench. Another morbid fact over there. A tissue, they all fall down. One of the symptoms of plague was sneezing, and it was believed that in London in 1665, if someone sneezed, they're going to fall down, and that's the last you'll hear from them. So yes, that symbolizes that they all fall down, they all die. So yes, that is the truth behind the Ringa Rosies poem, and it derives from 1665, the Black Plague in London. And so, what had happened is most people, if they got the plague, there's not much chance of surviving. However, as we saw, where's my survivor? There we are. Some people would survive unscathed. And so what happened was often they would end up being locked in the houses with their families. Very, very sad. So they would often have to fend for themselves. Whole families would be wiped out. And so it wiped out about 50% of Britain's population back in the 1660s. And thank you very much, my plague victims. You can sit down again. Because that looks very bad. Plague doctor, you want to come heal them? It's fine. It's beyond the help. Goodbye.
Arsenic, all the way.
Arsenic. Where's the arsenic?
We need more, we ran out.
So ladies and gentlemen, something very interesting. A reason why I've included the Black Death in my Stone to Steam performances is it's true. The Black Death has been like a deathly companion of humanities, alongside it through all of history. The very first case of Black Death was back in Emperor Justinian's time, Emperor Justinian of Rome, in the 7th century. That was the first major recorded outbreak of Black Plague. And so Emperor Justinian of the Eastern Roman Empire had no idea what was happening. And so people thought that it's because of the bad Emperor Justinian and all his mistakes that we're all now cursed with Black Plague. So that's why it became known as the Plague of Justinian. Emperor Justinian also caught the plague himself, but he survived. So it wasn't totally deadly. And so the next major outbreak was in 1347. If you guys think about the Black Death in Europe, you're probably thinking about the 1347 one. This was the medieval plague that killed off a third of Europe's population. That was the deadliest plague outbreak ever seen in history. And so 300 years later, in 1665, yet another enormous outbreak in London broke out. And so that is a small history of the Black Death, and as we can see, it was like as I said, a deadly companion alongside humanity. And so hence it shaped the world we know today. And if we fast forward to the 1800s, was the first cure designed for the Black Plague. And so ever since the 19th century, Black Plague has never really been a problem. It still exists, but it's totally curable and not much of a problem. So yes, that's luckily we don't have to deal with it now. I should have gone for my vaccination back in France. Oh, this wouldn't have happened to me if I did that. So yes, so that brings us to the end of the demonstration now. So you can all join me at the history table in a few minutes. For a last little bonus, I've brought some more of my collection to show off to you guys, and I'll answer all your questions that you have. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me in London 1665. Ah, thank you for poem. Ringo, ringo, roses. Oh, the tissue. Oh, I can see why it was hard to control these
In
things
those
down.
flipping gloves, even.
Oh damn, you've got me
I
recording.
need to. I'll never go back to England. It was terrible. I never got to England.
That is Bernardo, yes.
Never. I know. I ran out when it happened to be.
No, the bird ate it. Where's the
What? So someone had a question. Yeah, let's wait for this.
Is Black Death, Black Plague and Bubonic Plague the same?
They're the same thing.
How did it just subside, like the gaps, the 300-year gaps at a time? Like what?
So good question. It's think about COVID-19 and think about the Spanish flu 100 years ago. What happens is germs happen to emerge, and they come and they disappear. So if you look at, for example, there's this terrible theory that with global warming, the ice caps slowly melting, germs that locked inside the ice caps get freed. It's things that happen like this as well. Germs get freed by chance. But also it's evolution. You know how I talked about how us humans, remember my caveman outfits, our ancestry? We, us humans used to, we also evolved. Germs do too. Germs have their own history, their own ancestry, their own background. I would do a stone to steam in the perspective of germ history, but I can't really dress up as a germ.
Well, I mean, you could try.
Yes, so that's just how it happens. Germs happen to evolve, de-evolve, as it goes. But yes, basically what happened with the plague in 1665, I might answer another question on that, is it ended simply because a combination of a few factors. So what happened was it broke out, it was summer, hot, and the germs, bacteria thrives in heat. Because remember, the Black Death is a bacteria, COVID-19, the Spanish flu is a virus, so they behave a bit differently. Bacteria is like proper germs, like dirt. Bacteria loves heat. So what happened was, whereas winter started to hit London, you know how cold it gets in London in winter, this halted the spread. And also another thing is, did you know that in the Black Death, they had a theory that animals were causing, pets, domestic dogs and cats were causing the disease as well. They viewed them as filthy vermin, all these, stranded dogs running around. So they actually would go openly and hunt them down. And what actually they did is inadvertently they made it worse, because the cats were eating the rats that carried the plague. So they inadvertently made it worse for themselves. And so it was terrible, knowing in sight that when winter set in, the bacteria suffocated in the winter cold. And also you found that people started to develop immunities, such as you saw our survivors, and many more people would start to develop immunity. So a combination of environmental factors as well as immunity, just like the virus, immunity. Yeah, any other questions about Black Death or today's show? Yes?
Are there any other nursery rhymes that mean something?
Almost every nursery rhyme has a history. It has a meaning behind it. I can't go word for word with every nursery rhyme. Maybe cameraman, you might know. What poem am I thinking of?
Well, Humpty Dumpty has quite a few theories.
Yeah,
That's a bit to do with the king's horse and the king's man.
So,
Humpty. Just like Napoleon.
It was either Humpty Dumpty either represented one of the monarchs of England who got decapitated.
King Charles I, probably.
or it represented a giant cannon that fell off a wall and couldn't be hoisted back up. It's one of those two.
Yeah. Well, for a fact, the London Bridge is falling down literally was a historical event when the bridge was broken down. And it actually leads me to say that another factor I just remembered, another factor that led to the plague's end is, any of you guys heard the Great Fire of London,
Yes.
1666? 1666, Black Death 1665. So what happened is a combination of the cold as well as the fires that swept through literally burned the bacteria as well as everything
Didn't it
else.
kill off the rats as well?
And it would have killed off the rats too. So the fire was almost like a purification. People viewed it as terrible, but they didn't know that it also wipes out the rest of the plague. And London's never been struck by Black Death on that scale ever since.
Why did they think that arsenic was a potential cure? I mean, it
The
did
plague
show
doctors,
some kind of
yeah. So most plague doctors' cures, I've even wondered this. Like, didn't they see it's not working? So it was also a lot to do with gimmicks and making money. Like, plague doctors would sell off their cures, get loads of money, and the plague victim, often the cures would be neutral. Like, leeches was their most famous and popular one. They believed with miasmatic theory, the bad miasmas are in you, so bloodletting via leech would take out the bad stuff from your body. This is actually just taking your blood out when you need your blood to stay healthy and fit to fight the disease. So yeah, but it wouldn't be enough to make someone rendered useless and die. So often victims would heal by themselves, and then the doctors could say, oh, it worked, and there's no proof. So back then they didn't know what bacteria was, and they could really say whatever they wanted to, as long as, obviously they wouldn't prescribe a guillotine to the neck. That doesn't work, But arsenic, bloodletting, and chicken bottoms on the neck, all these ideas that just caught on, they didn't work, but they did not work. That's why they would often make it. And another interesting thing is that one of the other cures, burning buboes, I said I'd get back to that. So plague doctors later in the plague, it's more like later in the plague, late summer, they started to think maybe we should just burn the buboes, maybe that will work, it will get rid of them and seal them. This actually was effective. And yet another factor that slowly added to everything else that stopped the plague in London is by burning the buboes, it literally sealed the wound, so hence no more room for getting reinfected. I know it's a bit, I probably should have done a little disclaimer in the beginning of the show that this is going to be a bit of a squeamish performance, but it's a piece of history nonetheless. But yeah, they would burn the injuries, and it actually was slightly effective if the victim didn't die of shock, which could happen as well. And someone else also asked why the paint and the chains. So what would happen is you would get, the plague doctors would do it, but there'd also be city folk hired to do this. They would walk around houses, and any household that is known to have the disease, they would lock it, seal it off, and paint a red X over it to show that this house has the plague in it. So this literally condemned the family inside to be stuck inside. And they would have also more hired people around the city who would go around giving food to the people locked in the houses. So don't worry, they wouldn't just be locked for good. Someone would go past and give food to the victims inside. And if they survived and healed and they waited the quarantine, then good, you're free. But if they died, well, dead, sealed, and then someone would go around with the "bring your dead," that famous Monty Python joke. There literally would be someone walking around with a wagon, and people would load off their dead relatives into the wagon. They started with burning the victims, but eventually the death toll was way too big to be burning everyone, so they built mass graves. Literally, that's why they stopped with individual graves and burning just mass graves. That just shows the degree of deadliness that befell London in 1665. And red X, locked up, that would symbolize this household is infected. And funny enough, inadvertently, the plague doctors and the people in London were actually also doing something, just like when they were burning the buboes. Locking people in, remember lockdown with COVID-19, that literally was their own effective lockdown. So this actually would aid in stopping the spread. So they at least knew this. They don't know why it was caused with bacteria, but they at least were on point with how contact with the infected would lead to spreading. So the people in the 17th century weren't that foolish. There was a lot of effective cures as well. And fields.
Did they study medicine? Such a stupid question, but
So-
because we're the Moors are quite a sophisticated medical.
Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, the Moors, actually, the Saracen cures, we have lots of records. They did a good job of documenting their existence. All these Moorish cures were actually quite effective. Good diets, healthy food, lettuce, greens was literally prescription in many cases. So they were quite on point, but even the Moors didn't know about bacteria and microbes. So sometimes they would fall short of it. But yes, if you look at Eastern medicine and Western medicine as of the Middle Ages and early Renaissance, I would definitely go with Eastern medicine, yes. Another interesting thing is, where is the chicken? Never mind.
Oh, it's at the table
It's fine,
there.
I just wanted to make sure no one's run off with it because you know how noisy it is. As I was saying, is your typical plague doctors, you saw our plague doctor today, your average plague doctor would have studied a little bit and they'll be like, okay, I'm ready to get cured, let's go. Some plague doctors, the famous Dr. Schnabel of Germany, there's even a picture of him. I've inspired my plague doctor image of Dr. Schnabel, although he had a white mask, my plague doctor's a black mask. But some doctors did study years in medicine. Universities were a post-medieval invention. So late in the Middle Ages, the first universities opened. And so universities were around during the Black Plague. So plague doctors and just normal doctors would study many years, study medicine, but more importantly, miasmatic theory. So yeah, miasmatic theory, as I explained, it's they believe in bad airs. That's not really true. So it's having to balance the miasmas in the body through bloodletting. We know that that's not correct. But yeah, they would study that in university, yes. So yeah, your typical doctor would have studied a little bit, but some doctors, and this is the truth, some doctors would simply put on a cloak, some would even wear masks, some would just act as doctors. I see that you are ill, gentlemen. Would you like my cures? Pay me, thank you, and they'd get paid in it. And yeah, so literally some doctors would just, it would be like a total stand to get money. So yes, that's to answer your question, if they did study it. Great, any last questions? I bought my little tunics, I bought some of my collection of my tunics. It's actually getting quite late.
Yeah, I
I thought maybe I'll bring them
like
along with to next week and do an extra big showcase of my collection.
The anxiety is bad.
Yeah, I think I'd rather do that. We need to close down soon.
Maybe because you
I
don't
guess
have
just good questions. Thank you guys. Very good questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I'll let you know as soon as the YouTube video is
I don't know
out.
who to talk to.
I've only uploaded the
That's why I wanted to
Charlotte
see.
Monk
That's
one
why you coming.
recently, so that one will be coming out
It's
next.
just so confusing. And my brother likes it.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Which is a big thing.
Don't